Hey guys, so it's kind of getting to a point in the season where there's not a ton to talk about. The playoffs will bring a lot of that content back, maybe the play-in tournament, but as of now, there's like 8 games left in the regular season, and there's just not a ton to talk about, so I figured I would react to some of your hot takes. So I put out on Twitter, give me some hot takes for a video. And if you want to be featured in one of these videos, just reply to a tweet when I put these out. It won't be like a weekly thing, and it won't be super often, but I will do this at times, probably a lot in the off season. And if you want a more regular upload of this kind of thing, go watch Jacob or Rusty Buckets. He does this every Tuesday on his second channel, so just go watch him. Yeah. Anyways, if you like the video, like, subscribe, whatever, let's get into the video. So our first hot take is from Just Watching 132 on Twitter, and he says Russ is a stat padder and someone who can't win a chip as a star, but he's a great teammate, just an intense one. And I wouldn't even say he stat pads that much. I guess I'll explain. I think his play style is the reason he gets so many stats. For one, he can't shoot, meaning his off-ball contributions are probably zero. I'll admit I don't watch a lot of Russ, but so this is just a guesstimation. But he does require the ball in his hands. Second, he's not a great playmaker per se, just not like LeBron or CP3, but I think his slashing ability makes his assist numbers inflated because he's getting to the rim, forcing double teams, creating open shots, and while that may create high assist totals, it's very inefficient. His rebounding is hustle plus athleticism, and he's a solid defender, but his offensive style forces him to be the main guy in an inefficient offense, which just can't win a chip. As for his teammate stuff, he's not bad, just intense, and I think there's a stigma of him as a bad teammate. It comes from his KD experience, and I wouldn't say KD as a bad teammate. He's just someone who needs to work in an easygoing, chill, no one bosses you around type of environment, whereas Russ is a guy who wants to push himself every morning, every moment, and thrives off his hard work. So I agree that he can't really win a chip as the main guy. I think if he slightly altered his play style, that he could maybe become a second, third option kind of guy. Like if he played next to, I know this is going to be, cliche of me, but Jokic, he kind of adopted an off-ball cutter kind of role, then I think that could work. But I don't really see him winning a chip with his current play style. And I don't think he necessarily tries to stat pad much anymore, but I think his stats are just inflated because of how he plays. I don't think he's a top 5 playmaker in the league. I don't see him as an elite playmaker, but yeah. The next hot take is that OG Anunoby will have a better career than Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball. Now, this is kind of one that I could see happening. I think he'll undoubtedly be better than Lonzo. Lonzo's a solid role player, and so is OG, but I like OG more. He's a bigger wing who can defend 1 through 5, and his offensive game has really come around this season. Not that it was bad before, but he just kind of solidified holes in his game, and it depends whether you're talking about individual talent or just all time, because OG already has a ring and Brandon Ingram doesn't. So I think that maybe OG will go down higher all time than Brandon, but I don't really see him being more individually successful than Brandon. The next one is Draymond, impact-wise, is a top 10 defender. And I asked for hot takes, not just facts, Brandon. Come on, guy. The next tweet is from Jacob or Rusty Buckets, and he says word for word. And I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, Rusty. Not sure at all. All right, the next one is from Abdullah, and he says Giannis is better than Kawhi. This one is one that I can see where you're coming from. it'll take a good playoff run from Giannis for me to put him over Kawhi. I still have Kawhi over him. And in the playoffs, quite frankly, Giannis is not a top 5 player to me. But if he has a good playoff run, then shit, you might be right. And then Troy Brown Jr. is the best player ever from Cameron. And yeah, I don't really see the issue with that. Besides the fact he's no Campazzo, but he's alright. He's pretty good. And then the last one of today from NBA, a bunch of numbers, is Nuggets are still just as much of a contender as they were before Murray got injured. I think they're still a dark horse contender, but I don't really see them as serious of a threat as they were before they lost Murray, because they just lost a bunch of firepower with Murray. And while they're still a great team, they lost their second best player. So, kind of hard to do that. But yeah. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed today's video, just, thanks for watching. Heh.